Hi everyone and welcome back to Maths and Physics with Mr. Simons. Making maths easy and we get you exam ready. Today's classwork lesson on financial maths for grade 11 revolves around interest rate changes. So sometimes we invest money for a long period of time and there's no guarantee that the interest rate that we got at the beginning would be the same interest rate at the end. A lot of things change in the markets. Right, so Amy invests 8,000 for 5 years. She receives 12% per annum compounded monthly for the first 3 years and 15% per annum compounded quarterly for the next 2 years. So you see here for the first 3 years, she got 12% interest. For the next 2 years, she got 15% interest. So there, as you can see, that's what I mean with interest rate changes. How much will Amy receive in total after 5 years? So initially she put in 8,000, right? Interest rate 12%. By now you should know 12 divided by 100 is 0.12. And because they said compounded monthly, I have to divide by 12. So that there simplifies to 0.01. N is 3 years, so N equals 3, but their interest compounded monthly, so if I divide by 12, compounded monthly, N must be multiplied by 12. So 3 times 12 then gives me 36. Right, then my interest for the next 2 years, 15% is 0.15 divided by 100, or 15 divided by 100 is 0.15, compounded quarterly, so divided by 4. It simplifies to 0.0375. And there is then 2 times 4, which then gives me 8. Alright, so how much would she have in 5 years? So I can work out that first one for 3 years, get the total. Then work out that total with the next one for 2 years and get that total. Or in short, what I'm stating is A equal P 1 plus I to the power N times 1 plus I to the power N for the second interest rate change. So if we do the first one here, P would be 8,000. We're calculating using 0.01 and 36, we would get an answer. That answer would represent the new P that was must multiply for the second part. Right, so instead of doing two separate problems, we can do it all in one. So P is 8,000, 1 there 0.01, N is 36. Right, then for the second period, my I is 0.0375 and N equal 8. Right, so if I punch that in the calculator, you see there, for the first 3 years, my money, then with that interest rate, grew to 11,446,15027, right? Now it's getting interest at a different rate, which is 1,00375 to the power 8. All in all, it's 15,366 Rand 12 cents. So that step I didn't need to show, but I'm just showing you how I'm doing actually P two separate times by just using that equation straight. Right, so let's look at the next problem. I hope you're with me and you understand what I've done. Right, so they say 6,000 Rand is invested for 10% per annum compounded monthly. After 3 years, the interest rate changes to 12% per annum compounded monthly or quarterly. The last 2 years, interest rate changed to 15% compounded half yearly. My apologies. How much does she have after 12 years? So P is 6,000. I, 10% per annum, that would be 10 divided by 100, which gives me 0.1. Compounded monthly, so I'm divided by 12. So after 3 years, the interest rate changes. So the first 3 years, so therefore N is 3, 3 times 12, which gives me 36. Right? Then, so how much money after 12 years? So after 3 years, it changes to 12%. So 12% per annum. So 12 would be over 100 is 0.12 compounded quarterly divided by 4. Right? Now, the last 2 years, so 12 years, so 3 till the last 2 years would give me 7 years to get to 10 years. Alright, so therefore 7 years at 12% times 4 would give me 28. The 4 comes because it says compounded quarterly. Then the last 2 years, my interest is 15% per annum. 15 over 100 gives me 0.15. Compounded half yearly, so divided by 2. For 2 years, n equal 2 times 2, which equal 4. So as you can see, the trick here is we're trying to catch you out of the years. So we're starting with 12 years. Right? If I take the first 3 years away from 12 years, for the first part there, I'm left with 9 years. Right? The last 2 years, so there's my last 2 years. If I take 2 away from 9, I'm left with 7 years. Right? So I hope you follow. The concept is we want you to make an error with n. So we have 3 interest rate changes. Therefore, my equation reads A equal P 1 plus I to the power n for my first interest rate change times 1 plus I to the power n for my second interest rate change times 1 plus I to the power n for my third interest rate change equals 6,000 times 1 plus 0.10 over 12 to the power 36, 1 plus 0.112 over 4 to the power 28, and then 1 plus 0.15 over 2 to the power 4. So again, I can work out the first one. That's what I get. Then I can work out the second one. That's what I get. And then I work out the third one. All on my calculator. So in total, I have 24,715 Rand, 87 years after 12 years. That's nice. A 400% increase in what I've invested. But 12 years is a long period. Right, let's go look at another problem. Alright, so 14,000 is invested in the account. The account earns interest at the rate of 9% per annum, compounded semi-annually. So I have 9% twice a year. Then for the first 18 months and thereafter 7.5% per annum, compounded monthly. How much money will be in the account exactly? 5 years after the initial deposit. So for my first 18 months, we had 9%. Right, so 9% is 9 over 100, which gives me 0.09. Compounded semi-annually, so divided by 2, which then gives me 0.045. N, 18 months, so half yearly, I assume you know is every 6 months. Né? So 18 divided by 6, 18 months gives me 3 periods that we paid interest. So N equal to 3 for 18 months. Right, thereafter 7.5% per annum compounded monthly. So 7.5 divided by 100 gives me 0.075 compounded monthly divided by 12, which gives me 0.00625. N, alright, now take note, compounded monthly. Right, I've taken 18 months, which is a year and a half. So here, I'm actually working with 3.5 years. Alright, but in short, we would say 5 times 12, which gives me 60 months. 60 minus 18 months, then leaves behind 42 months. So N is 42 for the last interest rate change. Again, because we have 2 interest rate changes, A equal to P, 1 plus I to the power N, times 1 plus I to the power N. P is 14,000, 1 plus 0.045 to the power 3, times 1 plus 0.0625 to the power 42. Again, if we do that part separate, that's what I'm getting. Then multiplied by the second part, we would get 20,755 Rand, 8 cents. Right, so I hope you follow. This is how we deal with interest rate changes. Continue practicing hard. I wish you nothing but the best. God bless. Bye.